Colleen and John, I welcome you. Everyone sitting here is an important part of Colleen and John's circle of family and friends, and they are touched that you have come from near and far, from cities and the countryside, from upstate and down south, to be here with them on this incredibly special day. Colleen and John, you guys are New Yorkers to the bone. You never stop moving. I want you both to take a moment to look into each other's eyes. Take a deep breath. Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future. Just really let this moment sink in. For those of you who don't know me, don't be mistaken. I am not a priest, nor a rabbi, nor a spiritual hippie leader. My name is Danielle. Colleen and I are old college friends. We met on our first day of college at Rutgers in the stairway. We were 17. Since then, we have followed each other from New Jersey to Manhattan to Brooklyn, where first I found my husband and now she has found hers. Everything you need to know about who Colleen and John are together can pretty much be traced back to those very first moments they came in contact. For those of you who don't know the intimate details of their first date, here's the scene. Imagine a bar in Prospect Heights, Brooklyn. A fall September evening, almost 3 years ago. But like any good love story, the real story is the story behind the story. Colleen and John's initial moment of contact happened to be in John's favorite hangout, the computer. Like any good-looking, modern young urbanites, they were of course shopping for partners online. Now I say shopping only because that's how Colleen described it to me. I shop for John online, she told me. For those of you here who know Colleen well, you know that she doesn't do anything without precision, even shopping. So here's how Colleen narrowed down the men she would shop for. Number 1, only guys who lived in Brooklyn. Number 2, only guys who lived in neighborhoods specifically like Prospect Heights or Clinton Hill because they are slightly fringier. Therefore, edgier, artsier guys would be more likely to live there. Thus, her obvious conclusion, her future husband was somewhere there. Now, meanwhile, over in Clinton Hill, one of those very neighborhoods, a guy named John figured, hey, why not? I'll try online dating. How bad could it be? He decided to test the waters. Back at Colleen's computer, a photo caught her eye. It was a photograph of a guy stoking a fire. He looks like a man, she thought. Which to some of you may sound like a fact. Not necessarily a compliment, but it was. You see, in New York City, real men are practically an endangered species. Colleen began reading his profile. Here were some of the things John wrote. He was looking forward to the fall, to drinking whiskey, to wearing his tweed blazers and cordovan boots. All of this sounded very attractive to Colleen, but it was the cordovan that really began to tug at her. Now, for those of you here who aren't fashion designers and don't have any idea what cordovan is like myself, it's evidently a kind of horse leather. Little did Colleen know how well-versed she would soon find out John was in male fashion. But even beyond the fire stoking and the cordovan, what drew Colleen to the stranger was his description of himself. Here's what John wrote. I work, I write code. I go home, I write code. And then I go to the bar and write code. It wasn't so much the content of his words that grabbed her. It was the straightforward, stripped down, unromanticized way in which he said them. It was John's bluntness that in part moved Colleen. When they finally met in person and Colleen showed up at the bar, and John saw her for the first time, he had 2 thoughts. 1, she is way out of my league. And 2, she has a lot of bling and shine for an upstate boy. Where I come from, flannel is pretty flashy. The rest was history. Within 3 months, they both knew this day would eventually happen, and here we are. So what does all of this mean in the context of you two becoming husband and wife? John, you explained to me what Colleen's blingy flash and shine have come to represent over time, which I thought was incredibly beautiful. Underneath that shiny exterior is something soft, you said. Gold is pretty shiny, but it is also the softest metal. And when I spoke to you, Colleen, about you wanting to marry John, in part it's because he not only appreciates that contrast in you, but he allows you, as you put it, to expose that vulnerable side of yourself. If I'm upset about something, he'll just hug me or be really sweet, you said. I need someone who allows me to be the soft person, so I don't always have to be the tough person. And John, in some ways, too, isn't all that different from you. You described your husband to be as playing that serious, stony personality, but when you get to know him, you realize he's completely the opposite. He's extremely caring and emotional. This contrast of hard and soft is something that both complements and propels your relationship. I remember for years, Colleen, you and I would always talk about how feminism had backfired on women like us. That the fierce independence our parents raised us with had ruined our romantic prospects because men still wanted to feel like they were needed as a woman's protector. Yet you found somebody who both loves that fearlessness in you and still wants to protect you, even though he knows you don't need it. As John put it to me, what attracted me to Colleen was her confidence. She brings out the most passionate sides of me in both ways. Anger and frustration and love and protectiveness. Let me repeat that. Anger and frustration and love and protectiveness. It's not like I can protect her because you can't protect Colleen. Colleen's going to protect herself, but I can support her and the endeavors she takes. To both of you, that mutual support, that respect of your individuality, that acceptance of your contrasts and contradictions is all part of the makeup of you as a couple. John, you told me as Colleen's husband, you want to be her partner on an emotional and practical day-to-day level. Someone who can really fill in each other's blanks. Colleen, as John's wife, you are committing to go down this path together, build a family, and the whole next phase of your life by each other's side. Someone to do half the stuff, but as you put it, also someone to share in half the fun. Now you two are not your typical romantics. You claim you don't really do sap. So when I was searching for some kind of reading to encapsulate the kind of love we're here to celebrate today, I'll admit, even for a writer, it was a challenge. But then I came across this piece of writing. As everyone here knows, if you've ever been to Colleen and John's home, they're always doing something with their hands. John's chopping or searing or butchering in the kitchen. Colleen arranging or sketching or sewing or feeding those damn dogs. And when it comes to their careers, Colleen a fashion designer, John a software engineer, they are perpetually building and creating with their hands. Here's the poem. A good marriage is a lifetime of hands. It's a shaking hand sliding a shiny band onto another shaking hand. It's an anxious hand tugging on a suddenly shy hand. It's hands touching in sudden tenderness, or swinging together down a crowded street, or fingers interlocked in the darkness of a theater. It's expressive hands, that playful pat, the beckoning wave, the rumpled hair. It's two ecstatic hands being grasped by tiny brand new baby hands. It's hurried hands, setting dinner for hungry hands. It's angry hands pushing away angry hands. It's an optimistic hand patting a discouraged hand. It's a panicky hand clutching a calm hand. It's a proud hand introducing an embarrassed hand. It's healthy hands holding sick hands. And finally, a shaking hand sliding a worn band off of a still hand. A good marriage is a lifetime of hands. As you said to me, as you see marriage, it isn't just romance or weddings. Marriage, as you described it, in many ways is old-fashioned hard work. And fortunately for you two, you both have workers' hands. Now for the vows. John and Colleen wanted to write personal vows to each other. Colleen's going to begin. Take your time.
John, I love you with all my heart and all that I am. I love you for how much you love me. I am such a loyal and caring, you are such a loyal and caring partner who also does housework and cooks. What more could a modern girl ask for? I feel so lucky to have finally found someone whose knowledge of power tools can match my own, who not only appreciates, but also possesses a great sense of style. He values German engineering and fine scotch, but also the merits of cheap Canadian beers and garbage plates. And I love that you have such a strong set of values. I just didn't know that they came so much from Star Trek. You give me a soft place to lay my head and a strong set of arms to hold me up. And if I tell you I just need a hug, you listen. You don't always hear me right away, but you almost always come around. I promise to love you the way you deserve to be loved. I promise always to see more in you than you see in yourself. I promise to work hard in our relationship and to always try and hear you and improve things between us as we grow together and our family grows larger. I will always support you and be an advocate in your corner. I will challenge you to live up to your potential as I expect you to do the same for me. I take you with all your faults and all your strengths as I offer myself to you with my faults and my strengths. I will help you when you need help. I will turn to you when I need help. I choose you as a person with whom I will spend my life.
This is handwritten, by the way. See my handwriting, you know this may take time. Colleen, after our first kiss in the Hollywood Triangle, I knew I wanted you in my life. One of the first things I said when asked about you was, yeah, but she has a chihuahua. Well, I have a trillion. It was then that I knew I was thinking about starting a life with you. From the time we have spent together, we have supported each other, we have challenged each other, and throughout it all, we have loved each other. Colleen, as your partner, I promise to encourage your kindness. I promise to foster your dreams. I promise to help shoulder our challenges. I promise to be your partner in all things. And lastly, I promise to make an appropriate choice at the wrong time. Our life together will be full of love and happiness, challenges and impatience. But together, we will make both sides of this union. At all times, make this partnership above all with love. Colleen, marriage makes two fractional lives a whole. It gives two purposeless lives a work and doubles the strength of each performance. It gives two questioning hows a reason for living, something to live for. It will give new gladness to the sunshine and a new fragrance to the flowers and a new beauty to the earth and a new story to life. I didn't write that, by the way. That's Mark Twain. Colleen, I love you. I promise to be the best version of myself for us and our future. Colleen, this is my vow to you.
Bill Hanley, can you please bring up the wine box? this time, I'd like to draw your attention to this box. John and Colleen are beginning this tradition called the wine box, in which they are sealing the written vows along with a lovely bottle of wine inside the box. Like wine, and any excuse to drink wine, love and marriage only gets better with age. Every anniversary, they will open this box and reread their vows while drinking the bottle of wine, and then, of course, replace it for a new bottle the following year, although Colleen has asked for permission to open it before the year is up at times, if necessary. Your vows were beautiful and heartfelt. Now we're moving on to the more formal vows. Colleen, please repeat after me. I, Colleen, take you, John, to be my husband.
I, Colleen, take you, John, to be my husband.
I promise to be true to you in good times and in bad,
I promise to be true to you in good times and in bad,
in sickness and in health.
in sickness and in health.
I will love and honor you all the days of my life.
I will love and honor you all the days of my life.
John, please repeat after me. I, John, take you, Colleen, to be my wife.
I, John, take you, Colleen, to be my wife.
I promise to be true to you in good times and in bad,
I promise to be true to you in good times and bad,
in sickness and in health.
in sickness and in health.
I will love and honor you all the days of my life. Now for the rings. John, you have the rings? I believe. John and Colleen, these rings have no beginning and no end, and symbolize that the love between you is infinite. John, please place the ring on Colleen's finger and repeat after me. I, John, give you, Colleen, this ring as a symbol of my love. Colleen, please place the ring on John's finger and repeat after me. I, Colleen, give you, John, this ring as a symbol of my love.
I, Colleen, give you, John, this ring as a symbol of my love.
Why don't you guys take a moment to just take this in. And what I've been waiting to say my whole life. And now, by the power vested in me by the state of New York, I now pronounce you husband and wife. John, you may kiss your bride.